The left strategy of trying to seem tough is a swing and a miss. After weeks of potty mouth tirades, a Dem big gun is telling his party to stop shooting from the hip.
This party is scrambling, trying to seem tough, and I'm seeing this party traffic in a lot of curse words. That's supposed to be like the new cool thing to do. I don't think that's going to be as useful. I've even heard Pete Buttigieg with a whole bunch of curse words. I don't know who gave that memo. I don't think that's very useful.
Democrats are getting pressed on the effectiveness of using four-letter words.
I'm not a big swearer. I know my children are watching and other kids are watching. Profanity is often used to express anger, and I think it comes from an authentic place.
Democratic members across the country channeling those feelings in a variety of different ways.
Personally, I disagree with it. I think what they're channeling is the very strong anger that's out there in the public.
And while Tim Walz is still trying to load that shotgun, J.D. Vance showing off his shot while hanging out with his fellow Marines that you can see there. Greg, this reminds me of what you were talking about in the previous block, which is the Democrats tend to kind of get a bat signal and then say, oh, we have to do that. So when did the say a four-letter word to try to be persuasive memo go out to them?
Yeah, I don't recall saying that.
You did in the
I'm just
block.
foreshadowing the next block on the NPR person. See how clever that was? Yeah, you're right. It's like swearing for the sake of swearing, and it never works. The opposite of authenticity isn't fake. It's, pretending to be authentic. When somebody pretends to be authentic, it is painful. The Democrats have become a theater troupe. With every manufactured hysteria, their new amateur production. So instead of Bye Bye Birdie or Fiddler on the Roof, it's they're destroying democracy with Adam Schiff. Or he's saluting Hitler with Jasmine Crockett. It's just like any play. It has actors and props and scripts. And after you watch it, you want to throw up. The question is, if you take away identity politics, which I think is what's caused a lot of this, what's left? Who are you? This is the lasting damage of this stuff. If you have invested in a construct of identity, that is not a real version of you. If your definition is I'm a gay black male, what happens when society says we don't care? Then you got to figure out who you are. You have to re-examine who you are as a member of the human race. And I think that's the problem you're seeing with Democrats, and they don't know what they are.
Yeah, Harold.
Jesse, you don't know what you are.
I know what I'm not.
Harold, some of them almost seem like theater kids, like older theater kids. Like they're even writing in curse words in their written communication.
Look, I'm not a fan of curse words in politics. I'm no choir boy when it comes to how I talk at times, but I think in politics, it goes on both sides. Republicans and Democrats do it a lot. President Trump had a few curse words to say in campaigns, but I do think what Van Jones is talking about is right. When you are cursing, when you are in the minority, it almost appears like you've run out of ideas and you've run out of ways in which to present to the public. Can you imagine if we were saying, as Democrats, again, we want every agency to cut 5% of their budget. We want to cut taxes on tips and overtime for people earning up to $100,000 in tips. As a matter of fact, no taxes, work with the president to do it. Can you imagine if we said we want an education act that lifts every kid and we're willing to be for vouchers and be for charter schools and be for school choice as long as the schools work? I know we have a difference around the table, probably 4 against 1, but I want the Department of Education involved in efforts like this. Can you imagine we said we're going to raise the carried interest tax and raise taxes on those earning over $25 million a year to be able to pay for the tax cuts that we want for those working Americans? That's what Democrats ought to be offering. Get away from the cuss words. Get away from the cuss words and get back to the substance.
That was
a great
That was the platform.
That was the platform.
Yeah.
Harold Ford.
So good, Harold.
Go get
We
it.
love it. Judge Janine, what do you think of this foul-mouthed tirade?
He's so right. I mean, the cursing does sound like you've run out of ideas, and the Democrats don't have any ideas. They're leaderless. They're rudderless. They don't have a policy. They don't know what they stand for. And it's almost like you've got a high school play, and people like Jasmine Crockett are auditioning. And they've tried everything. They've tried protesting, and then they tried singing, and then they tried choose your fighter, jumping up and down and punching. And now they're cursing, and, Vanilla Pete Buttigieg is tweeting F-bombs to seem tough. I mean, like, Where are these people from? Who does that? I mean, people curse all the time.
What
Okay.
advice would you tell them, Jesse, to get it together?
They have to look in their hearts. It's not out there. You don't pay a consultant $1 million to tell you to say the F word. You have to find out what you care about. We know what Trump cares about. He cares about the golden age, the border, law and order, making America great again, the American dream. I mean, everybody knows what he stands for, but no one knows what the Democrats stand for. Greg said it. All last year, all you heard, democracy. All this year is F you. They're not really angry. They're angry that their base is angry at them.
Yeah.
If they were really angry, they'd be mad about the $5 gasoline. They'd be mad that their kids were getting raped in a bathroom by a guy with a dress. I saw real anger on the south side of Chicago when those people were mad that the migrants were coming in and taking up all of their space. That's real anger. This is just shock jock. They're trying to get attention because their legacy media allies have no punching power anymore. So they have to break through the noise on social media. But just because they're getting clicks doesn't mean it's good. Not all clicks are good clicks. Trust me. I know.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.